Okay. Okay, so I guess everyone is ready. So we will go through lesson 4 today. So basically, every lesson we will use a new slide, and I will copy all the remaining materials of last lesson and into the new slide. Okay. So you can just refer to the latest one. Okay. So last time we haven't go through the RST system. So RST system is the system we talk about. We want to respond to others, and others will reply to us how strong the signal is, how clear your signal is. So RST is a system on replying the signal strength. The R stands for readability, S stands for signal, and T stands for tone. Okay, so basically it is to assess the transmission signal. So we'll go through RST one by one. Normally in our daily conversation, if we don't use CW, we don't use Morse to communicate, we can omit the T. T is talking about your Morse signal, the tone of your key input, okay, of your key. So if we don't use the key, we can omit the tone. So R stands for readability. So basically, R is your how readable your signal is. Okay. So we've got a definition here. R, we can use R1 to R5 to represent your clarity, the signal clarity. Okay. 1 is unreadable and 5 is the perfect one. Basically, both RST is very subjective, and in most of the case, if we can hear others' voice and know what he's saying, we can just reply them, your signal is 5 by 9, saying that your signal is very clear and very strong. Okay. 1 is unreadable, 2 is very readable, blah blah. And 1 is worst, 5 is best. Signal stands for strength, how strong your signal is. Sometimes your signal can be very strong, but you can't hear what they are saying. So in this case, your strength is 9, but your readability is 1. Yeah, in some scenario you can say something like this. And signal strength is from 1 to 9. So we got different meters in our equipment list. Okay, we can just simply measure. We call this the S meter, and we can simply measure the signal strength. Okay, so sometimes you may hear in some conversation the people say that your signal is 5 by 9 plus 20. So this plus 20 means the needle here points to the plus 20, which is plus 20 dB, which means your signal is very strong. But you can omit this if you don't want to talk about it. You can just say 5 by 9. But if you hear someone saying that, you have a plus number at the behind, then you know that the signal is strong.
Why do you say by 9? Why do you say by 10?
Oh, because this is a universal standard. And
there's no 10.
Yes, there's no 10. And people already agree that the RST system is 599, the maximum number.
599.
Yeah. R is 5, S is 9, and T is also 9. So you can't make up a number and say, your number is 511. You can't do that. Yeah, it is agreed in all the ham
play. You can say 5 by 9 and
plus yes.
30, whatever.
Yes. So you see the 9 here. 9 is already maximum. But this plus means plus how many dB? This is, you want to emphasize your signal strength is more than 9. So you use this plus number, plus dB. Okay. Yeah. This is how we use the S meter. So S meter is sometimes is a more objective, but if you don't have an S meter in your hand, you can just do it subjectively. You can just measure, it's your 5 9, yeah, 5 by 9, and people will understand that. So this is an S meter. Apart from the signal strength, we can see there are different numbers here. 1 is not good, and 9 is the best. Okay, extremely strong signal. Actually there are 2 definitions. This is the modern standard of RST system. In the past they used a different standard, especially in tone. So This, okay, let me talk about the tone first. Tone is measured from 1 to 9, and this is only used when you are typing the Morse code. Okay, so if you use your voice to transmit the signal, you use the mic to input your signal, then you don't have to talk about the T. Okay, so basically, it is 1 is the worst, and 9 is perfect tone. Sometimes you will see that maybe it's an AC tone or DC tone. Well, in modern standard, we still keep using this, but I don't know why. Yeah, we'll just leave to some professional to answer it. But once again, if you let me see if we get we got a key here, so we can try. Let me see if I can make some noise. Can I? Yes. Then this is, you see, this is a very good signal, very good tone. Okay. But if you hear some noise over the tone, then you said, oh, the tone is not 9 anymore. It's unstable. Yeah, unstable. It's just like an AC going up and down. Okay. Then you know it is a very bad tone.
So what's the difference between pure and perfect? Pure tone and perfect tone?
No, this is very subjective. They just split it, the worst case and the best case, into 9 different standards. So you can just make up your mind and say that, oh, your tone is...
What is a perfect tone?
Like this.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect. So you can hear just a straight line, no fluctuation in the tone. Okay, a DC voice. But if it is like an AC, then it will fluctuate up and down. Yeah, got some fluctuation. Your tone may, because sometimes if you may be doing some DX transmission, like you are transmitting your signal to a very far away place. Okay, then at this time your signal may be there are two interference maybe. The first interference may be your environment. Okay, the environment, there are some different, maybe the weather is very bad, or maybe there is some obstruction. Okay, the second point is maybe your key is deviate, your key is bad, so they can't make a very good. So the key is actually just an on-off switch, right? The DC on-off switch. So when you press down, they give you an on signal, and if you're not pressing it, they give you an off signal. But if your key is very bad, and they can't maintain a very good on signal, then you know that, oh, it will be interrupted, and your tone will be bad. Yeah.
I don't know, I think it's going to be subjective.
Yes, you have to be subjective.
Why not make the R 9 as well? So it's 999 consistent.
I don't know why, but when they first go through this, they just give it 599 in the 1930s. So you can actually check the 1930s. Oh, maybe we can do it when we are at, when you take a break. So this is just an common practice. If you want to, the first RST signal should be used in the military or some
aviation.
Yeah. What craft? Stuff like this. Not only ham.
For pilot.
For pilots. So you have to ask why they designed this system instead of why just make up the 999. I don't know.
Is it just one tone, or there is more than one tone? So when it says perfect tone,
yes,
in here it's only one tone, so you know it's perfect.
Yes.
Whereas if you hear another sound, then it's okay, then it's not perfect. So it's pure. I don't know.
No, you if you can hear the and very sharp and very clear voice, then you say it is 9. Even though you may not be able to distinguish what it's saying, but you know that the tone is very clear. Sometimes that's why they have readability. Your tone may be very clear, your tone and your voice, the strength is very good, but I don't know what you are saying, talking about. Maybe very many of errors you have. Then your readability will go down. Yeah. So it just talks about S. R is readability. S is just strength. maybe your signal is strength, but your tone is not in a good condition. It may happen. Okay, it may happen, especially when people are playing with DIY. Then you don't know what they are using for the key. Maybe they really use two metal pieces to do the switch, right? You don't know. So that's why it's not always 599.
The Morse code.
Yeah. It's not always and 599, but it can vary. But the lowest will be 111 and the highest will be 599.
Okay.
You can't have numbers more than that. Say you can't have 699 or 71010. No, this one. Okay. Sum up table, and this T is the old standard, and the modern this is a new standard already. This is new standard already. Okay, 599. So you see that RST, no R should go beyond 5. Okay, 5 is maximum, 9 is maximum, and T9 is maximum. Note that T is for Morse code only, which we say that's CW, continuous wave. Okay, we have got pro signs and we got different abbreviations in our conversation. So sometimes, so when you use the Morse key, you can't talk very quickly. At max, like you can just type 10 to 12 or more, maybe 20 to 30 characters per minute, right? Words per minute, right? So that's why they will use some abbreviations to help speed up, to give others more information, to speed up your communication. Okay. This is a common one, but the most common one will be CQ. Okay, general call to any other station, which is ICQ, the CQ, checking if any others want to reply to my station, CQ. D is also common, which is from where, this is yeah. K is okay, go ahead. R is Roger, right? And the rest I didn't see them I haven't met this kind of pro sign yet. Most common is CQ, DE, and K, and also Roger. Okay. Oh, let's see. How come oh, I know why. Just a minute. Not being hacked, but my computer is not connected to my hotspot, and the Wi-Fi here is very bad. That's why I have to use my own hotspot. Okay, yeah, good. Let's continue. And yes, there is some more abbreviations that we can see. So RIC is referred to the equipment. Okay, RIC. I don't know why, but they use RIC. Yeah. So sometimes if you see their handbook or see their diagram saying that's how to connect the different pieces together, you will see RIC. RIC is the ham equipment.
RIC, the term coming from the old days when they do the vacuum tube. When they connect the circuits, the modern equipment they use PCB. Right?
Okay.
In the old days, they use the wire connect one. It's like it's a rig. That's called.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's why they rig up. So it means to connect the wire from each contact to the other contact. So if you open the equipment, it's all wired instead of PCB. So that's why they.
Oh, that's why.
Because rig is the equipment.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, DX is also a very popular abbreviation. Distance, which means distance. You want to communicate with others out of your country or far distance. So this is DX.
This will be asking an example.
I guess it's at most 1 to 2 questions. So if you can't really remember it, just leave it there. Yeah, they won't ask you a lot, but if in the practical communications, you will meet this kind of words. Like the common one with CQ. Yes, CQ. If you want to talk to others So you have to say CQ, CQ,
This is
CQ.
a
Yeah.
hot question, right?
Yeah,
We
so-
almost guarantee.
Yes. And 73 is also very common. So when you finish your conversation, you want to say bye-bye to others. Say bye to others. So you use 73. Yeah, which is best regards. I don't know why they make they use the one, but this is very common in the ham, among the hams. And bye-bye is not used, but it can be used by a lady, but not the man. Idiot, and it's not common for men to use it. Love and kiss. So you know, sometimes if they say bye bye, then you know what they are referring to.
If you want to know why some of the message use a certain combination of characters, is because the way the Morse code is designed. For example, 73. If you type it, it's da da di 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 da da. So it's a symmetric signal. Da da di 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 da da. And if you go back to the first, like AR is di da di da di. AR. They type it together instead of like one character. Normally, if you type AR separately, it will be di da di. But if you send this message particularly, it will be di da di. And also, oh, this is AR. The way the for example BT is da di da, it's very symmetrical, so it's very easy to make up when you hear this. It's almost like the start of a very popular music. So oh, this is something like that.
Okay.
So that's why the reason why is the character is selected to make the signal very easy to remember, very easy to hear.
This is the first time I
yeah, like a 73, there is very easy to hear. Once you hear once, you never miss it. Someone type it, you straight away recognize this 73, rather than some other message.
So this they remember all the things in the voice. Okay. I don't think they really ask you this type of questions, but they will use Q code in the question. They will ask at least one questions in one Q code, which we refer to in the last lesson, like QSL, QTH, that kind of code in your exam. One question, but they just ask you 1 to 2, at most 2. So if you can't remember, then this is just one score, 1 mark. Never mind. Okay. We have give you the sample of radio calling. Maybe I can give you one more example. Just a minute.
Alright, let's go CQ and see if we can raise some point to do that on 20 meters. I'm going to ask the frequencies to use first. I'm going to do that 3 times. If I don't hear anybody, then I'm going to go ahead and call CQ, and I'm going to be east with 2 Yankees, and we'll see what happens. So here we go. Is the frequency is Whiskey 6 Lima Golf?
So you see that Whiskey 6 Lima of golf is the call sign he is using. Okay, let's continue. See if he can talk to others, communicate with others. Oh, actually this K3 is very common, very popular in the ham, among the ham. Actually, my boss has bought one, and I don't know why, but it is they give you a handbook and teach you how to DIY, change the different electronic components inside it. They will teach you how to do so.
Is the frequency to use Whiskey 6 Lima Golf? Is the frequency to use Whiskey 6 Lima Golf? CQ low, CQ calling, CQ. Maybe east from Northern California, Whiskey 6 Lima Golf. Whiskey 6 Lima Golf calling, CQ low, CQ. CQ calling, CQ low, CQ. Maybe east from Northern California, Whiskey 6 Lima Golf. Whiskey 6 Lima Golf calling, CQ low, CQ. meters, Whiskey 6, Lima, Golf. Release.
I'll come back.
Again.
Okay. Okay. So this is how the way you call the CQ, and we have talked about how to wait. Hey. Great. Okay, and this is the sample code in the textbook, but actually in the daily communications, we seldom do it this way. We seldom use a lot of abbreviations. Yeah, you can just use your words to talk to others. You don't have to always follow all the cosine. Okay. So this is if you are using really typing or in your word, CQ. This is WC blah 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 blah, and you mention your cosine 3 times, at least 3 times. Okay, so that to make sure the recipient can know your cosine is. So you mention it 3 times, so the others you have to make sure others is receiving it. Go on and then reply. You have to repeat the others cosine first, saying that okay, I received from WC4HY, and this is WD6LZZ. Okay, Roger. Okay. And maybe sometimes you can't hear very clear, then you use QRZ, which is who is calling me, and WD6. And sometimes if you can't hear very clearly, then maybe you can just recognize some of the characters. Whiskey, of course, for the D is one. Whiskey Delta 6, and the followings, you can't mishear them. Then you can tell the others, hey, then the others will reply the cosine once again. So you see that, okay? And once you make the call and you know others cosine and the others know your cosine, then you can start your conversation. And this conversation is not okay. You can see that it is a Morse signal. So the handle is Charlie. QSA. Your signal is 5 by 7 by 9. So you see that it is RST. You see that hyphen 9 here is the T. So you know this is a Morse communication. Okay. QTH. Where are you from? Where am I? My QTH is blah, 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 blah. Please give your name and your QTH. Okay, then you can reply that, okay, what is your name? Where am I from? And replying others how your RST, how their RST is. So the recipient is saying that, oh, your signal is 599, okay? QSO should be saying contact. Thank you to thanks for inviting me to communicate. I think it's something like this.
Thank you for contact.
Yeah, thank you for contact. So so the remaining you don't have to call you blah, blah, blah. So this is just an example. So even though you may not be very familiar with the abbreviations, there are some more Q code and some more message that you can read from it. Okay, but sometimes if you really don't know what the words mean, you can just ask for clarification, and the hams are very helpful and they will tell you what they want to tell you. Okay, they will just make an explanation to you. Yeah, if you don't know what they are talking about, just ask them. Yeah, they will tell you. And thanks for the QSO. Hope to hear you tomorrow at the same time. Okay. So this is your saying that the conversation ends. Okay. Let's see what SK is. I forgot what the SK is. Oh, out. The communication ends. Okay. So you see the SK at the back. Okay. So once you know how to operate a radio and how to communicate with others, so bear in mind that you always have to keep the log. So
if it's below 50 megahertz.
30 megahertz, then okay. If you are using a fixed station or watercraft, you must always record on your logbook. Okay, but if you are using a mobile or portable station, you can omit the logbook, except if you are using the mobile station to communicate using under 30 megahertz, then you must have the record logged on your logbook. Okay. So there's two cases. Fixed station, always logbook. Mobile and portable, below 30, logbook. Okay. Yeah. This is for your diary. So this is a good practice for you to log down your logbook. Okay. So sometimes, let me see. Yeah, license of blah blah blah. Just make sure which day you are going to have operate the radio. So sometimes people may not only use hard copy for logbook, but they will use the web to help them to log all the stuffs. So that's your awards and your locations, all your informations can be logged on the web and shared among the internet if you want to do so. Like the qoutside.com, you can upload your informations on there. Legals, so sometimes the OFCA mentioned that they have the authority to check your log at any time when they come to your station. So you must provide to them a hard copy for them to for checking. Yeah, and that's why you have to
for 6 months.
At least 6 months. But LFCA mentioned that you should keep your log as long as possible, but at least 6 months. Yeah, they mentioned in this way. And if they really ask you which type of media is the best, then you said that the hard copy, the book, the logbook, which is the hard copy one will be the best. Hard book should be logbook. Which one should I mention? 硬皮簿. Do you know what is the answer now? Okay, logging, and you must include this information in your logbook: the date, the time in UTC, the frequency, the types of radio emission. I didn't find any information on this one. So you can just log. It's the best for you to log like if you are using Morse code, you can say A1A, but you can also say CW. I didn't see they make a very clear line here, but you have to make sure you look like if you are using the FM voice, then you can say FM, or you can say F3E, which we mentioned in the last lesson. Or sometimes you use the SSB, the AM single sideband, then you can use SSB or J3E. J stands for single sideband, which is a modification on AM. Okay, which we will mention it when we talk about the antenna stuff. Power, OFCA mentioned that you should always use dB watt in mentioning the power. It is mentioned in the Annex B4 or Annex C. I forgot which one, but they mentioned it clearly in the Annex. Okay, but most of the time when we talk to others, saying that, hey, how strong is your power, we can just say, oh, 100 watts. It's a common practice, but not a common practice in your logbook. Okay, the call sign of other parties, so that you have to know who are you talking to. Yeah, who are you talking to? Okay, let's continue. Okay, so if you go to Amazon, you can buy a logbook like this. It is available in the web. So you see that they give you already a lot of places here, so that you can write down the information. You don't have to make up one. You can just buy a one from the from Taobao or Amazon. Yeah. Okay. And so in the modern days, we got another system so that we can log all the stuff on the web or to the computer. Okay, so you see that it is an example, so you can see that, oh, they actually give you a lot of information here, like your rig, which radio are you using, on which day you are talking to, which frequency, which band. So actually, if you know which frequency you are using, you know which band you are using. Okay, it's just the same. And HARTS, RST, from and the power, this kind of stuff, then they can help you to do all the stuff. And sometimes if you type the other call sign to it, they can know which country the recipient is from. Okay, they will know that directly. Yeah. Preparation. Keep a logbook. As ASL mentioned it, you have always logbook if you are using a fixed station. Okay, fixed location radio. So before you start the communication, you should turn on the radio and make sure that this channel is not occupied yet. There are no one talking in this channel. Like you can listen to like 30 seconds to a minute. Make sure no one is using, then you can start CQ. Yeah. So sometimes check your frequency if it is in range in your license. So for your ham license, the ASL, not all the frequency that you can use. There is a limitation here, so you have to remember that limitation. And if you are not, maybe sometimes you are playing with DIY, and you are not sure which frequency you are using, then you can use a frequency counter to check with this. We will talk about it when we talk about the measurements. Okay, and sometimes you can ask the recipient and ask them, hey, which frequency am I now transmitting to? Because sometimes you are using the DIY, you are not sure your frequency is accurate or not. So you can ask for acknowledgement from the others. Yeah. Check your equipment if it is functioning properly. Yes. So sometimes maybe we will also connect it to a standing wave SWR meter, yeah, standing wave ratio meter, to measure if the antenna is can transmit the signal in a good condition or receiving the signal in a good condition. So if the SWR is too large, the ratio is too big, the number is too big, then it may cause damage to your equipment. Now sometimes if you can't transmit the signal out, there is backward power go back to your equipment, and the power may damage your equipment if the SWR is too large. Okay, and we'll talk about it later time. Just bear in mind that you can always check your equipment if they're in good place. You can make all the checking, like you use a power meter. Like in our place, we got the power. We did a power equipment for which is
Transformer.
yeah, transform, not transform. Is not transformer. We can say transformer. Yeah, we can use the word transformer. Okay, and the transformer there will have voltage and ampere meter in the front, so you can know how much power is using at the moment when you start the conversation. Yeah. So to make sure that you are not using over 100 watts when you try to hold the mic. Okay, and during the communications, remember to logbook, and the people you are trying to communicate should be approved by OFCA or having a license if you are in Hong Kong. But if like you are just doing the DX, you don't know if they are having a license or not, then yeah, you just don't know. But you can always trust the party, the opposing, trust the recipient. Okay, trust the recipient. And use Q code, use phonetic alphabets, the spelling alphabets, but so you know practically they may not follow this. Like Alpha and America, sometimes they can swap different words. Q code, we suggest to use QCook, like very common QCooks. We can like QRZ, QTH, QSL, this kind of cook. And if you use them, you can speed up your conversation. Like especially if you are in a contest, there are people coming very quick. They want to end the conversation like in 30 seconds, as soon as possible. So that's why if you use the QCook, you can speed up your conversation a bit. Yeah. And sometimes they are doing the Morse, and if the Morse you transmitted is faster than the speed they can hear, then they may ask you to slow down, because they can't hear properly. They can't receive your signal properly. So they will ask for slowing down. And if it is too slow, like if you're already very familiar with the Morse code, then you can ask them to speed up. Hey, it is too slow for me. Can you speed up? Yeah. Because sometimes they are using the RTTY. They are using the automatic telegraph, the automated Morse code. Then you can control your speed. You don't have to type it manually. Yeah. And it's not a must, but we are recommended you to provide the true information, like your QTH, the RST signal, and the equipment you use. Okay, so you always don't know who your recipient is. Maybe they are very, maybe you are talking to a foreigner, but they are already living in Hong Kong for a very long time. They know all the details in Hong Kong. So if you give them a wrong QTH, say in Hong Kong, but I saying that, oh, I'm on a mountain or stuff like this, then they may know that you are giving wrong information to them. So we talk about trust. Okay, we don't have any further information to verify. But if they discover you, if they found out that you are giving the wrong information, they will know that. Yeah. And be attentive. Avoid interfering to others, communication servers. Like especially if you are using the frequency that is for secondary bias, then you have to make sure, there may be interference, and try not to interfere in others. Or sometimes, radio broadcast. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it is for polite and not to interfere others. And saying QRT and receive the QSL card. Okay, so once you do the DX communication, you can ask them to send you a QSL card. We got QSL card here, over there, and during the break time, I can show you once again. But I guess sometimes, the last time we have shown you already, saying that this is just like a postcard to prove that you have tried to communicate with me. Yeah. QRT, which means I have ended my conversation, I can leave now. So if you are using the voice instead of SK, you can say QRT, so that the conversation ends. I can leave the band for others to use. Yeah. And sometimes why he is not attentive to listen to others, sometimes like we've got some emergency channel, like for watercraft, it is like channel 19. So if you can hear others speaking on channel 19, then you have to hear, pay attention and listen. Is this an emergency call? Is there any accident occurs? So you have to report to OFCA or others who have the authority to help. But if you are not in an emergency case, but you stay on channel 19 and transmit your signal, then it is not a good practice. Because you are trying to jam others if they are in emergency, right? So that's why always pay attention on which channel you are using, and if try to see that you are not interfering others, or you are not interrupting others' communication. QSL card. Okay, this is for two-way contacts. I've already explained it to you already. Okay, sometimes if once you have the license, you can register like HARTS CSSC is the bureau in Hong Kong. So when you can mention to others saying that, hey, can you send your QSL card to my bureau? Then the others will check, where the bureau in Hong Kong is, and they will find that, it is HARTS CSSC, and they will send your QSL card to here. Yeah. So that it can save you some time to mention your address, and you can centralize all the QSL card here. Yeah. So that HARTS will help you to collect all the cards. But I remember that they cost you $20 to receive one QSL card. I'm not sure. I can't verify. You can ask them later.
You pay to get.
Because they have to pay for the
I thought you send it, postage, right?
I'm not sure, but
you send it, you put a stamp, right?
Yeah. Let me ask
But
Rudy.
you receive a postcard, you don't have to pay.
會長，我想問下收 QSL 卡咧，係咪要收錢㗎？定係 send 嗰個先係
This free service for our members, valid member, not
just receiving? Just
receive and ingoing and outgoing both.
for our HARTS member.
Yeah.
But if not, then
Yeah.
you charge them.
If you want to use the bill service, you just put the HARTS GPO box address for your bill, and all the email will be come through by bill, and we will sort it out for you. Yeah.
So it's likewise, other country they have their own bill, and
Yes.
let's say
Same service.
you collect like 20 members QSL card to send out to America to a bureau, and
Yeah.
they
will
remember they
They
will
will
distribute.
forward it to
So
the
instead of
members.
sending each one, you put the address and put a stamp and then so
Actually,
everything
yes,
is
but
over there.
for the practical
In that case, I won't see a stamp on it.
Yes, we don't have a stamp.
usually we need to sort out make sure the address of that hand, because they may not bill member, or they don't have the bill service. If they don't have the service, you have to mail it to them directly.
And then it won't be through HARTS, or it will be through HARTS. If you don't have the address,
Yeah.
if you have to send it to home address, then it won't go through
Actually,
HARTS.
you can usually find it in the KSL.net.
咁係咪我哋黑市幫佢 send 出去？
係啊。
But even in this case, it's also done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Then we can just And QSL card looks like this. And if you want to see some real examples, we got a bunch of QSL card at the back, so we can share them.
Where to print QSL card in Hong Kong?
I don't know, but for HARTS, they already print some QSL card, so you can use theirs directly. But
This is
this one here, just this one. This is the QSL card for HARTS. But if you want to design your own card, then you can just go to the printing service and design your own.
Any company.
Yeah. So that's why you can see that for the others, if they design their QSL card, normally this is their family members with their equipment or antenna with them, and the photo. This is their most of the design is look like this. Yeah. Phonetic alphabets. So reason why we have phonetics number alphabet is like this. Okay, A for alpha, B for Bravo, C for Charlie. Okay, and this is for clarity, so that you the longer you pronounce the word, you have a higher chance to receive the correct alphabet. Okay, there are some more rooms for you to have the fault, to prevent the fault. Okay, more rooms for you to receive the correct alphabet. That's why they use the phonetic alphabet. And sometimes their accents may be may not be clear enough, so that or some kind of voice they can't pronounce it properly. That's why they decide to use the phonetic alphabets. and they pronounce more vowels, yeah, and to make sure a single character can be transmitted successfully. Yeah, prevent ambiguity, okay, and eliminates the confusion and misunderstanding. Okay. So you have to always follow the native phonetics. A for alpha. I have tracked different versions. Wiki said that it is AFLA, but when I type in the wiki, another picture say that it's ALPHA, but I don't think it matters as long as you know it's AFLA. Okay. For the others, it's correct. B for Bravo, C for Charlie, D for Delta, E for Echo, and you have to at least memorize. You have to memorize it. It appears at least once. Okay, but if you are familiar with this one, you will immediately know which one is correct. Okay, yeah, they will give you a phrase for you, a word, give you a word, and ask you what is the native phonetic alphabets for the corresponding word. Okay, then you maybe OFCA in our sample questions. Then O, you know that O is for Oscar, F is for Foxtrot, C is Charlie, A is Alpha. Okay, yeah, that kind of stuff. And most of the time when we say our call sign, VR2, so you know that V is Victor, R is Romeo, and 2 is 2. Yeah, they don't have another phonetic alphabets for numbers. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0. Yeah. Okay. Memorize it. So the more you read it, the more familiar you have it. Yeah. Okay. Band planning. We have band planning so that we don't. We can utilize our spectrum so that we share the spectrum among the ham. So that if you use a narrow band, then it leaves more room for others to use to communicate at the same time. So you know that's like if you use 5 megahertz, then like your band is originally have 100 megahertz. If you just use only 5 megahertz, then you can have 20 channels at the same time. Okay, this is why we call using a narrower band. And sometimes the band itself, we have to use different purpose, right? Like broadcasting or for emergency. So so that if we already have a band planning, you know that which band you can be used and which band is for broadcast or emergency use. You can't use this kind of band. Okay. Interference. Yes, and ITU have some. I've mentioned some of the details, especially for the emergency communications. So for different zones, they have a different emergency communication channel. But I'm not going too deep on this. And just remember that Hong Kong belongs to zone region 3 in ITU. We are here, right? We are here. And the world is separated into region 1, 2, and 3. And last time, Professor Lee asked me, hey, what about this? No, we don't have ITU region here, okay? We don't have ITU region on the South Pole. And they may ask you which zone, they give you a country and ask you which zone, which region it is in. But you have to remember that Asia is region 3, and Africa, Europe, and Russia is region 1, and for US is region 2. Okay.
Many years ago, they have this DVD by region.
Yes,
Did
and
they use the same region?
no, the DVD region is, I guess it is 9 regions. It is more. They cut the region into more fine pieces. I don't know why, but it's not. They're the same. They are not the same. They're not the same. Okay, they're not the same. They're different. Okay, and you can refer to the ITU-R, which they mentioned about the band planning and which band can be used and what purpose. But we are not going to go too deep in it. They will not be asked in the your questions. But if you have time and you want to read more, you can Google it yourself. Okay. They also mentioned like the 400 megahertz band, which one is designed for the emergency use. Okay, that kind of stuff. Okay, so we have just walked through safety precautions. We have talked through how to use. Oh, we didn't talk about 3.3. Okay, lock keeping, call procedure, the kill code, band planning, and phonetic symbols. Okay. So we can take a very short break first, and we'll go to the physics part after the break. Yeah, finally, the physics part. The physics part will be more interesting. So you will see a lot of diagrams. Yeah, the most boring part is finished. It will be easier. It will be more fun. I hope. Yes. Because you can see more diagrams. Yeah. 多謝 Professor Lee 嘅果汁，我飲啖先。
呢度租㗎呢度，定政府俾你？
政府俾1蚊租，1蚊租。係，呢度都好玩嘅呢度，好多嘢睇嘅呢度。呢度咧有啲，我可以同你一齊睇喎。如果大家想嘅話，參觀下我哋嗰個 radio room。入過啦，係入過。咁用中文講啦。一係嗰個brand 做 brand。咁iPhone 係一個好出名嘅日本 brand 啦，基本上就係家屬啦，家屬就係 brand 啦。咁你見到呢度有幾樣嘢可以大家見睇，呢個就係我哋平時即係比賽嗰個 radio 嘅，咁你用我哋嗰個錄啦。咁呢個就係拎嚟轉嗰個英文字幕，而家我哋呢個就係嗰個真火牛嚟嘅。咁你會見到有 voltage 同埋一個 anchor 喺度。如果佢哋着機嘅時候，咁因為我哋唔係真係用 manual 去 control 啦，有時我哋轉 band， 我哋可能會用到呢部機嘅，即係佢會幫我哋落低所有嘅落喺度啦，同埋轉 band， 我哋可以用撳，我哋可以轉到嚟做咁呢個就係傳説中嗰個 ITU 嘅時間鐘啦。呢個就係嗰個 key 啦，都可以感受到。咁你我哋冇着機，可以點去玩下？好幾個着機，冇聲啲人冇聲，喐嚟喐去都撳啲人撳一睇。
我都覺得呢個係㗎，
好細嘅，好細嘅，
一堆之後。
加電拋實翻唔係，加電係嗰個天線啊，唔係個 brand 係
個 design
係即係搭模嗰個 design 啊，叫做加電嘅問題。咁佢就我哋有啲加電喺出邊，咁我哋咧有個 controller 喺度。咁呢個 controller 咧就係我哋出邊嗰個電子升降台啦，大家睇出嚟啊，咁我哋除咗升降之外咧，我哋因為個地圖係咁啊，咁我哋啲資咁講，即係我哋方位，咁我哋有個地圖喺度啦。咁我哋香港喺呢度啦，香港喺呢個位，呢個位比較高。咁我哋有時候要4個色路係去唔同地方咧，咁我哋可能要睇指南針，睇下我哋直幾多度先。咁我哋譬如呢度係大概300度左右啦，200度至300度。咁我哋就會喺呢度咧，就開呢部機去度着啦。咁你見到呢個位而家係指緊去180度啦，咁我哋就會撳去高啲，可能集中呢度。咁我哋就真係接住嗰個位。咁如果我100火撳係9個人，100火係如果天氣好嘅日子咧，係去到好熱嘅。但係佢要天公做嘅，一定下到去。有時電力柴嘅，唔係話係因為好多唔多雨就係咯，你唔知道佢嗰個嗰啲 electron 嗰啲 ion 嗰啲搞成點。呢個幾誇張咧？你真係誇張。斯德哦，斯德都好誇張，都好誇張，都好誇張。但係做過。咁同埋我哋有時候咧， 有啲人試過話喺香港喺度啦，嗌去台灣。平時我哋係嗌 VHF、UHF 都係嗌唔到嘅。咁有時候天氣好，我哋會有一個叫做E channel 特殊20咩什麼S， 即係你見到個 ES 咁樣嗰個咁呢個時候出現咧，你就可以用好低嘅網速睇到呢個情況，至少可以睇到佢日頭夜晚都係嘅黃昏時間係最好睇，如果你咁樣睇到佢嘅狀況嘅話，黃昏時間係最適合。好，出邊又係呢度又係，咁我哋呢度咧傳説中有啲落伏啊，你見到我哋真係坐喺，咁我哋見到佢哋冇壓力嗰啲落伏喺邊，好似喺邊個呢度嘅？唔記得咗啦，唔知有係我都係間房，咁你哋有啲啦，好難做，基本上都係用呢部機呢一個奧普盤啊，呢一個搞方向呢啲係。
FCC 都係㗎。
可以，我而家冇俾你。
你一揼呢個嘅嘛？
我其實真係冇拎俾你得。其實我份 PowerPoint 咧，我有寫到點拎㗎。
有拎呢個嚟嘅。係。
我而家再播一次俾你睇咯，橫掂都係。
嗰個一個香港嘅。
可以啊！哦，呢一條，其實我可以 share 喺上 group 都得嘅呢條，睇下上。
咁你睇下佢。
睇下佢點樣嗌法咯。係啊，我睇下先啊。喂，點解個？
我個 call sign 係咩嘢
？X 唔記得咗。XY 好似係咁樣樣，但係俾個時間我整翻條靚線先，好一唔用，一用咧就咁樣樣發脾氣。點解啊？點解啊？我掹咗佢啦，大家小心啲啦。喂，OK，有同學問翻上次呢個。
呢個 link
係啦，冇錯。咁你如果唔知道咧，就揾翻 page 15就係㗎啦。基本上所有 materials 我都擺晒喺個 slide 度嘅。咁爭在有時候有啲嘢咧，我就會 public 俾大家睇啦。即係如果我真係想知道有啲唔係 reference 嘅，淨係 reference 嘅啫，咁我就會擺喺個 speaker notes 嗰度嘅。係啦。 咁如果你有時發現到啲奇怪嘢咧，你可以但係唔知道擺喺邊度，或者唔知道出處喺邊咧，你就可以試下抄我個 speaker notes。但基本上我自己 present 就睇唔到，好笑。咁呢個就係上次一個講ICQ 比較簡單嘅嘢啦。
Bravo, Charlie, Inc, Bravo, X-Ray, Mexico. This is Bravo, Charlie, Inc, Bravo, X-Ray, Mike. Your single color 전부 is 5 by 9, 5 9, very good, very nice, over.
Yeah, so you can see that, oh, I can go back a bit. So you know all the details, right? So it's very clear now. So they report the QTH and they report the RST signal. So you can hear the lady mention 5 by 9 plus 20 dB. So you can see the needle here. This is actually an S meter. So you can see that the S meter is go beyond 9. Like here is plus 20 dB. Okay.
Roger, Victor Lolo 2, X-Ray Algorithm, Bravo Charlie Inc, Bravo X-Ray Mike. Good afternoon, Classy, good afternoon. Nice to meet you, you're Victor Bert.
Hope you enjoy the exam and have a nice day. Also to meet you on this weekend single pattern WTS content. Bravo Jerry 8, Bravo X-Ray White, Victor Radio Transfer Yankee, PTX from Hong Kong. Bye-bye.
Roger, I forget, my family name is John. Zulu Hotel Alpha November Golf. Zulu Hotel Alpha November Golf. Nice to meet you, have a good day. Good luck. 2388. Bye-bye.
2388. Call 100% computer every day. Zulu Hotel Alpha November Golf. Thank you for your call. 88. Bye-bye.
再见。
So there are some more details that we can. Oh, screen not sharing. Just a minute. Oh, 得，冇問題。俾少少時間我啊。其實呢唔係都唔係其實嘅陣啦。我直接 send 條 link 俾你，咁你可以直接睇。等啊。俾少少時間我。原來我頭先斷開咗冇 share 到。而家有 share 到啦，係咪？有 share 到啦，應該。OK， 呢度。OK， 可以呢個。咁呢個係一個 example 啦，就係講話嗰個channel 點樣用法。好，咁你見到呢個再講一次啦，好快講一次呢個呢邊係 S meter， 就係可以睇到個maybe I should put in English, okay? Here is the S meter, okay? So you see the brand is from ICOM, and this is the rotor to tuning your frequency. So from here you can know that how strong your transmitting signal and how strong the receiving signal is, okay? So you see that when I forgot the handle, and XYL, the lady XYL is calling to this guy, you see the needles sometimes go beyond 9, like plus 20, okay? So this means that the signal is really strong, which go beyond 9, okay? But 20 means how much? Let me see. 100, yes, 100 times the signal strength. Yes, 100, yes. And any more? Yes. There is one more things you can see. This is the guy here is using 21 megahertz. Okay, 21 megahertz. Okay, so 20 megahertz represents 15 meters wave. Okay, and the calculation will be go through when we talk about the antenna. Okay, we are not going to go through it when we talk about the basic physics yet. And there is also actually you can check frequency equals to speed of light over wavelength, or wavelength equals to speed of light over frequency. So you know the calculation. Okay. And T is also a no, they are not using CW. Okay, USB. So USB is not the USB drive, but it refers to upper sideband. Okay, upper sideband. So upper sideband, when we use the AM for transmitting signal, you're actually using the both sides of a band. So to save some band, we sometimes just use a single sideband, SSB. Okay, when we split the band into two, we got a lower frequency one and a higher frequency one. So the lower frequency one we call it LSB, lower frequency, lower sideband, and the upper one will be upper sideband. Okay, so you know that 15 meter they commonly use upper sideband. Okay. So this is the radio stuff that I can share with to you when we talk about this one. Okay.
Question.
Yeah.
What is 15?
15 means the wavelength they are using is 15 meter. Okay, 15 meter wavelength. So the 15 meter wavelength you can calculate, which is, let me see if I've got a calculator. Okay, never mind. Yes, we can just use.
Okay, we trust you.
You can. Oh, you don't have to trust me. We can actually 15 meter wave. Okay. 15 meter wave. Okay. So actually, Google will help wavelength to frequency. Oh, it's 2015. So you see it is goes up kilo mega, which is like around 20 hertz. Okay, 20 megahertz, like around 20 megahertz. The calculation is light of speed 3 times 10 to the power 8 over 15 with the frequency, okay? And you divide it by 10 to the power 6, it will become mega. Trust me. Let's see if I call my calculator out.
Okay, another question.
Yeah.
In that video,
Yes.
when she said 88,
Yes.
the other person might have assumed, okay, the person's gone. Right? That's
Okay.
why over, I'm done. I'm bye-bye, I'm gone. When you say 88, does it mean that? Or
No. The 88 means kiss. Kiss.
Okay,
Yes.
73 then, goodbye.
Yes, 73 is best wishes, actually. Best wishes.
So what is the last one? Shut up.
QT.
I want to talk to you. Yeah, that's it.
You can mention it explicitly with QTH. But most of the time when we talk about 73, you know that the conversation will be end. If you in
PH is the final.
yes, or SK.
I think out.
Out, yes,
You
out,
go by
SK,
words.
you can say out.
Moscow is SK.
Yeah, Moscow SK,
Out.
yes.
Out.
But if in the practical world, if you heard someone want to end their conversation, you will hear they are 73. Okay, so if you also want to end the conversation now, then you can reply with 73. Then your conversation ends here in the practical world. Yeah, but if you want to explicit mention it, you can say just a minute. Let me pick up my slides. I remembered I picked this one. Let me see. Just a minute. QRT. You can mention QRT actually.
QRT.
Yes. QRT means you can use Google. Google helps. Shall I stop sending? So if you mention QRT and the guy responds yes, then you can stop sending. Oh, you can also mention it QRT when you want to stop the conversation. Okay? Yeah, you can do it this way. Yeah.
A lot of the Q code is both a question and the answer.
Yes. Yeah.
So the first one who mentioned it is a question.
I want to stop now. Can I stop now?
And
Yeah.
then the respond, it becomes an answer. It is the same code.
Yes.
But you don't have when it says I stop now. So it's a very polite way of asking, can I stop now?
Yes. Can I stop now? This is a polite way.
I stop. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
We seldom do that. You can.
You don't do
Oh, if you don't use the Q code or SK, you can just hey, I want to stop now. Can I have like other stuff to do. Then you can mention it explicitly in your conversation. You don't have to use the Q code or use 73 or use the SK. Yeah. It just depends on how your conversation goes. Okay. But if you want to ask the question, here's the code you have.
And what if they keep on talking?
They said, hey, you can make an excuse. just say, hey, I'm in the busy. Can you just speed up? Or you can say, oh, there interference. So you can you can you make your conversations faster in this way? Yeah. No, I'm joking. Just mention to them, hey, I'm
I think
busy.
in your
Actually.
example you have CUL, right? Call you later.
Yeah. I
See you
remember.
later.
Yes, CUL. So you can say that. Oh, actually, I'm in a busy. So can you tell? Can you talk to me later time? Also, in the Q code.
No, I think that why the lady used a call sign XYL. So because XYL means something.
Okay. Do you see that? Just a minute. Like, I guess there is one Q code asking, I'm busy at the moment, so can you call me at a time? But I forgot which one. No, I forgot.
This is very useful if you know Morse code. Right?
Yes, so it's very short.
So maybe we should learn Morse code. So that makes sense.
Most of the time you just type this
Yes.
for Moscow instead of typing for the sentence.
Like you, but I forgot which one is they are talking when you want to do the conversation at target time. I forgot. Yeah, but there's one. Okay, so are there any more questions on the operation?
It's okay.
Oh, it's okay.
Thanks.
Then we will go to the physics part. So you see that we go through already 1/3 of our slide, or 2/5, yeah. And maybe I should ask Professor Lee to come up and talk about this. So what? high school physics. If you have a good background, then we can we can just okay. So in our world, like atomic space, we got stuff with three status: charged, negative charge, positive charge, and neutral, right? Yeah. Yes, must be yes. Okay. So so if we have two charge with different with the same charge, like both of them are positive or all of them are negative, then they repulse. But for a different charge, they attract each other. Yes. Why we are talking about this is because when in our daily life for electricity, it is the movement of an electron. An electron is a negative charged particle. Okay. So we have to talk about the electrical charge before we go to the electricity. So this is a Bohr's atomic model. Actually, it is wrong if you know the chemistry, the SPDF stuff. But just take it as a very rough example first. Okay, in our atom, the nuclear in it is positively charged, and surrounding the nuclear is the electron cloud, or we say. And sometimes the electron, if they have if you give them a very huge energy, they can escape, and we can call them free electron. Okay, like in our metals, the electron can escape easily, so that metals are very good conductor. They are a bunch of free electrons in it. Okay, and charge. The unit of charge is coulomb, and usually we notate the charge as Q, capital letter Q or lowercase q. Yeah, uppercase or lowercase. It depends on which one you're referring to. And 1 coulomb is 10 to the power 18, blah, 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 this number of a single electron. This is the definition, okay? So if you got this amount of electron, it refers to 1 coulomb. Okay. You don't have to remember this. Just remember that the flow of electron will become current. Okay, flow of electron will become current. Electron, so it is negatively charged and refers to a unit of electrical charge. So electron is the basic element, one of the basic particles. So we can use them as a reference point. So it orbits. I've talked about it. So if you give them enough energy, the electron on the outer orbit can escape easily. Yeah. And when the electron escapes, it becomes a free electron. Okay, so for most of the metals, it is they got electrons that can be lost easily. Like copper, it is a very good conductor. And there are some, in real life example, if you know the periodic table, so you know that the first, class or what? The first group, they can lose electron easily. Yeah. But lithium and sodium, potassium, that kind of stuff. But we'll not going to too deep in it. Remember copper. Copper is a very good metal, and we will use it most of the time for making coils and making electric wires. And there will be a flow of electron when the piece of metal is connected to a potential difference or voltage source. Okay, what does it mean? If the metal here is not connected to any stuff, you can't create a potential difference. Like if you put a cup of water here, then the water will just stay still. But if you are pouring the water, like they are flowing from the bottle to the ground, this is called potential difference. So the the water will flow. And similarly for the metal piece, if you give them a battery and one side is having a higher voltage than the other side, then the electron will move. Okay, this is called the potential difference. And most of the time we will say that the voltage, yeah, but in precise we call them potential difference. So note that potential difference, voltage, and EMF, they are just referring to the same type. They are all pointing to voltage, but just different names. Okay, how come there's a magnet? Okay. Okay, so we'll use. Yeah, let me see. I remember that I got an analogy here, but maybe. Oh yeah. So the potential difference is looks like this. You got a water pump here, so the water will flow. Okay. Similarly, if once you connect the battery, the electron will flow. Yeah. So if you are good in physics, you know that what is the drift velocity, and you can know how fast the electron flow. But we are not going to talk about it. It's too deep. Okay. So for the electron, it is when you use a very powerful microscope to view it, it is got an nuclear here, and the electrons will flow through them. Okay. The electrons will just move freely. Okay. And only if you connect to a battery, the electrons. Oh, actually, the electrons will move in all directions, because there is no potential difference. But if you give them a battery, you apply a different voltage on both sides, the electron will flow in the same direction. In macroscopic speaking, okay? Because in your microscopic world, the electrons may sometimes flow in a different directions, or not as clean as this one, okay? So it is a microscopic image. Easy, yeah? Very easy. Okay, so voltage, EMF, and potential difference, we are referring to the same thing. EMF, which drives the electron or the current in a conductor. We will use this analogy to explain what voltage, current, and resistor once again. We will use an analogy of water. So the higher the voltage, the stronger the EMF. Okay. So which, in other words, if you have apply a higher voltage on the conductor, the electron will flow faster. Okay, which makes a greater current. Yes. So sometimes you may hear me using EMF. You may sometimes hear me using potential difference or voltage. But finally, we are all referring to the same word. Okay, this can be used as interchangeably. Yeah, but sometimes if we want to emphasize on a force, then we will use EMF. Yeah. Voltage, the unit is volt. Okay, so sometimes you may hear watt and volt. Volt is voltage V. So if you are not clear, sometimes you are not clear on the unit I am referring to, you can just ask me. Yes. So we will use a lot of this kind of units in our calculations. We will use lowercase d, uppercase D, V or V. Okay. So in the notes, sometimes you may also see U, capital letter U, but it's not common. But in the old days, the notes, I really see some notations like this. So you may see which I'm using the capital letter E or capital letter V during my slides. So, but if you are not sure which one I'm referring to, the energy or the voltage, you can just ask me. And 1 volt is equals to 1 joule per coulomb, basic unit. Okay, so joule is the unit of energy. 1 joule by trans per coulomb is 1 voltage. If the charge can give you 1 joule at one instance, it is referring to 1 V. Yeah, I should mention it this way. current. In our first lesson, in this lesson, we will just talk about direct current. We are not going to talk about AC. AC is a bit, alternating current is a bit difficult. So we will give you a background on DC first. Current is measured in amperes, and most of the time we will just use milliampere in our equipment. But if we use more powerful equipment, you can see A. Electrons move in a direction of positive voltage is known as electronic current. Okay, all the current we are referring to is the conventional current. So I'm not going to talk about it once again, because you know that the current is used before they found the electron, and they finally found that electron is negatively charged, and they move in a different direction, opposing direction as the current. So they make up that electron has negative charge, and they flows backward, and the conventional current will move forward. So they make a compromise to that. Okay, they make a compromise. So don't ask me why. Hey, the electron move in this way. How come the current is opposing way? No, just think that the electron move in one direction, current move in another direction. Okay. Current is talking about, what we talk about, you can think in this way. The current we are talking about is moving from positive to negative, but the electron is moving from negative to positive. So they are in different direction. Okay. We make them up. Okay. And if we connect the conductor to a battery, it is the direct current, which the current will flow in only one direction. But in our daily life, we use a lot of AC, and it is moving from side to side. This is the direct current, so you see that the electron is moving from negative to positive, right? This is when you use a microscope to view the conductor, you will see movement like this. The electron moves in this way. But in our definition, the current is moving from positive to negative, which is exactly the different direction from the electron flow. Okay. Current, we use the unit ampere. Notation is in either lowercase I or uppercase I. 1A referring to 1 coulombs per second. 1 coulomb of charge is transmitted in a second, then it is 1A. It is defined as 1A. So we will talk about conductors and insulators. I guess everyone knows what is a conductor and what is insulator, right? Conductor is, I guess all of you know, very familiar with this, right? So I can go a bit deeper. There is one joke saying that if you have a voltage high enough, all the materials are conductor. Yes, it's true. We can because we sometimes we call the breakdown voltage. If your voltage is high enough, we can produce arcs, and the arcs can connect to each other to transmit electricity. But if you are not familiar with physics, I will just give you a very basic understanding. If the materials can transfer electricity, then it's a good conductor. But if the metals, most of the metals are very good conductors. Okay, so copper is the second best conductor. The best conductor will be silver. But in our daily life, we mainly use copper because copper is much more cheap compared to silver. Aluminium is also a good conductor, but aluminium is 4 times, the conductivity is just 1/4 of copper, as I remember. Insulator, if they can't transmit electricity, it will be an insulator. Like distilled water, they don't have ions in it. It is a very bad, it is a good insulator. So I will sometimes say that conductors are bad insulators, and insulators are bad conductors. The terms can be changed interchangeably, right? Okay, wood and plastics are also good insulators, they can't transmit the electricity. And human bodies are, we can say that human bodies can transmit electricity, but not as good as the metals. So when you touch the electricity, the electricity will try to flow through your body and to the ground. So that's why you have to be very, very careful if you deal with the electricity. We can, like wearing the plastic gloves and putting a rubber mat on the ground if you really deal with the high voltage. Example, very good example, silver, gold, blah, 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 seawater. Seawater is also good because they have a lot of ions in it. The ions refer to the charges. They got different particles, negatively charged particles and positively charged particles. So when they can also help to conduct the electricity. Yeah, drywood, glass, rubber, diamond, drywood, bed. So this is what I'm going to talk about. So if you are not familiar with physics, you can just omit it past. You can cover your ears and not to listen it. So, but in the real world, we will say that all the things can conduct electricity as long as you give them enough voltage. You can ionize all the stuffs. Like the air can conduct electricity once you give 30 kV volts per centimeters. Like if you have a 2 cm width, an air gap with 2 cm width, then you can apply 6,000 voltage and 60,000 volts, and this can use to conduct the electricity. One example is just the thunderstorm, right? Thunderstorm is have a very high voltage, like 100,000 or even more volts. So it can help to short the electricity to the ground. Yeah. So insulators require a very high breakdown voltage. I will put it this way. But if you are not familiar with this, just omit it. Forget what I just talked about. Okay, resistor. Resistor is something that have a which helps to which prevents the current flow. Okay, which will limit the current flow. I will put it this way: limits the current flow, lowering the current flow. Most of the conductors are not perfect, so they have resistance in it. So you can see this image, right? You can see there are nucleus here. So when they conduct the electricity, the electrons may bump into the nucleus. So it will prevent the currents from flowing. This is what we call the resistance. Okay. No, we are not going to talk about super resistance. Superconductor, we are not going to talk about it. The LK99, if you heard about the news, no. Yeah, I'm really interested in it, but I'm not sure if they are fake or not. It somewhat looks like fake to me. Okay. Yes. So the electrons in the conductor will collide with atoms. I've just mentioned the nuclear, especially the nuclear. So this energy will turn into heat. Okay, it will radiate as heat, which is we call the resistor. So for thinner, let me put in the slides later. So for thinner piece of metal, they got a higher chance to collide with each other, so having a greater resistance. But with a thicker metal piece, like you are traveling your car on a road with different wider roads, right? They got 5 lines parallel to each other, and you can choose which one of them freely, so you can move faster. But if you have got a narrow metal piece, just like many cars are traveling on the same road, then you have to drive very slowly. Yeah, it's somewhat like this, the resistance. Resistance is ohm, and we will notate it as R or upper letter R. So ohm is the unit of it. They don't have an extra definition of it. So different from resistance, we have got a word called conductance, which is the reciprocal of resistance, 1 over ohm. and it is measured in Cesium. But I really didn't see this in my exams. So you, if they really ask you about it, just try to see if you can really memorize it. It will not be used. Okay. Okay. Almost all. V equals to IR, but the definition is resistance equals to voltage over current. So to make it easier to memorize, we use E equals to IR or V equals to IR. Okay, which helps to measure the current. Think it this way: if you apply a very high voltage but the current is very low, then your metal piece must have a very high resistance. Okay, we got an analogy here. So the battery, which is the voltage source, is just like a pump in the water flow. The stronger the pump, the more powerful the pump is, which means the more voltage it can, more EMF it can provide to push the electron over the circuit. Okay, and the pressure in it just represents the voltage. The current is how much water flow through the pipe. Okay, and the light bulb here, it acts as a resistor, which will consume the electricity, just like the sands in the water pipe. It will slow down the water flow, consumes the water flow. Okay, it will we will have to apply more pressure to force the water into and out of the sand, which is the same as light bulb. Okay, you have to push through the electron through this electronic device and goes to the voltage, the negative, the cathode. Okay, and as in the circuit diagram, you will see that the voltage here is the battery. Shorter side is negative charge, longer side is positive charge. Oh, I make it different. No, I'm wrong. This is positive charge. The lower side is positive. The smaller side is positive charge. Okay, the longer side is negative charge. So the current will flow in this way. So you see, this is I pointing, showing that the current flow will flow through a resistor. So the light bulb here will act as a resistor, limiting the current flow.
I think the convention is longer stroke means positive.
Oh, let me check. I think yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Long is positive.
Oh,
short is
I
negative.
will change this slide.
If you say that the arrow is the direction is electron, that is correct.
Yeah, then think directory circuit. Simple. Yes, the shorter side is hey. Yes, let me put in here so that you know hey, I've made my slide during the lesson. Okay, so now you know. I will change this slide later time before next lesson, so you know that. This is the positive side. Okay, this is the electron flow. Okay, electron flow. I think they make a mistake. Yes, analogy. I really love this one, and I spent a lot of time of finding this diagram. So you're thinking this way: the voltage is pushing the electron through a very narrow path. So the ampere is the electron flow, the measure of electron flow in opposing direction. So the ohm is how thick, how wide the road is. The wider the road, the more easy the electron will flow through, which is the current flow through. And the higher the ohm is, the higher the resistance is, the narrower the road will be. And you will need more voltage to push through the same ampere through it. Okay. Yeah. And yes, and this is the symbol of resistor, and I forgot which one OFCA will refers to. I really forgot. I remember it should be the IEC standard, but I'm not sure about it. And in our textbook, most of the materials when I provide, I will use ANSI standard. Because the reason is the reference book that OFCA suggests, use this one, use the ANSI standard. But you can just remember one of them. But when you read this slide, you already know that they can give you two different symbols when you refer to. Yeah, I really forgot. If you know the questions, if you know which one the correct symbol, just let me know. Okay, so we go to the calculation part. Try to calculate. We have a battery of 150 volts, and flow through the current is 2.58 here. What is the resistance of the circuit? Let us pick up a calculator. Okay, so we know that V equals to IR, right? Let me see if I can join. I can join with, oh, never mind. Yeah, no, I have to join it. I remember I gave you the answer. This is 60. And V equals to IR, right? V equals to IR. So you can pick a calculator. V equals to IR. And V equals to IR. R equals to V divided by I. So it is 150 divided by 2.5. Let me. Hey, we are running out of time. Just a minute. Let me join the. Use my iPad to join the chat.我冇計錯數，好似冇計錯數，我記得應該係啱嘅，應該啱嘅。俾少少時間咯，俾少少時間咯。算啦，我都係放棄啦。得唔得咧？算啦，放棄。Let me use paint。係60啊，係the answer is 60 if you can calculate it. Let me pick up my pen. Maybe I can try to use my iPad later time. Okay. Hey, I'm not showing my screen. Hey, so you see that we say that V equals to. I really want to use my iPad.
Here is your iPad.
Oh yeah.
This is your iPad.
Yes, this is my iPad. No, I want to do this. Oh yeah. But I can't show that. So I prefer to use here. Let me see if my yes, good. Good. Yeah. Let me wait. Never mind. I give up. Give up. Okay, I guess you can see my screen. Okay. Oh. pen here. Thank you. Yes. So we got 100. Let me share my slide again. Okay, 150, which is 150 invoice. And we know that V equals to IR. So you know that I use V because it is I studied in DST. V equals to 150 V. And R equals to it's I. I equals to 2.58. So that R equals to Ri equals to V, right? R equals to V over I, which is 150 divided by 2.5, which is 60 ohm. This is how the calculation is made. Okay. I will try to see how can I use my iPad next time. Okay. Easy, huh? So okay, another example. What if we have 2,000 ohms and the current is 150 milliampere? So we can apply I should borrow a tissue first. May I have a piece of? Thank you. Okay. We have to apply the same question at the same time. Once again, I will use this Ohm's law a lot of time in our calculation. There are at least 4 questions in the Ohm's about the Ohm's law. Calculating current, voltage, and current flow. Okay, we apply the same calculation here, and we know that V equals to we don't know V yet. We know that I equals to 150 milliamp, which is 0.15 amp, and the R equals to 20,000 ohm. So we know V equals to IR. Then we can just say that 0.15 times 20,000 equals to, what is the result? I got my cheat sheet here. This is 3,000. 3,000. Am I correct? (0.15) times. Yes, it's 3,000 V. So you have to remember the calculation clearly. See if I can share this with my iPad. 點解睇唔到？不過 OK 啦。總之 this is a calculation. How do you make it? Oh, maybe I can draw the diagram at the same time. So I've got a battery here, which is this is the current flow is 0.15 A. So what is the battery? This is the question. Okay. And just for your reference, the reason why I'm saying that, you got an analogy in mind saying that, if your metal piece, your conductor is thicker, like it's about the cross-sectional area, then you know that each will have 咦，我冇 share 到個 screen 啊？咦點樣啊？just a minute。哎呀，just a minute。原來我搶咗自己。just a minute。哎呀。Okay. Okay. So I'll talk about this one once again. If you calculate this one, then you know that V equals to IR. This is I, this is R. So you multiply these two numbers together, then you'll get 3,000. 3,000 V. Okay, the voltage will be 3,000. Okay. Just for your reference. So this is the different piece of metals or different materials. They have resistivity. Okay, so this is a fixed number. Like metal, we say that it is 1, or not. I forgot. So you know that the shorter the length, the larger the cross-sectional area, the resulting resistance will be lower. Okay, just like the road is wide enough and the road is very short, then it takes you less time to travel to another place. But in reverse, the road is very narrow, they just allowed one car to pass through, and the road is very long, then your resistance is very large. For the same materials, okay? For the same material. Because only the same materials like copper, all coppers, it's just make it simple. All coppers have a same resistivity, okay? Make it simple first. So for a same piece of copper, the longer the copper wire, the thinner the wire, will have a higher resulting resistance. Okay. The syllabus asked me to talk about it, but I don't think they will ask you in your exam. Okay. So every different materials will have a different resistivity. Okay. Okay. So measuring the resistivity is, you see that a cube of materials measuring 1 centimeters on each edge. But no, you are not going. You don't have to memorize it. You don't have to memorize it. Just this is a fixed number. Okay. Definition. So you see that if I mention it is for your reference, then you don't have to memorize it. Just think of listening to a story. Okay. SI unit. If the number is too large, we will use SI prefix to make the number shorter. Like this one. In our previous example, we use milli. Milli, which means 10 to the power negative 3, which is divided by 1,000. Okay, and we add a letter M here. Like I just talked about milliampere, which is 150 milliampere is equals to 0.15 ampere divided by 10. Like sometimes if we talk about the number is very large, like frequency, like 200 megahertz, the mega is 10 to the power 6, which is, you can count 06 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros at the back. Okay. So here are some common SI prefix that can be seen, will be seen in your exam or daily life. Yeah. Of course, they are 10 to the power 12, they got a different number, but I don't think it is tera. But it is not that common to be seen. Giga is common. So you know gigahertz, your Wi-Fi, right? 2.4 gigahertz band. Mega, 10 to the power 6. Kilo, 10 to the power 3. Milli. Micro is mu. This letter is called mu. Nano, 10 to the power 9. And pico. Why I have to talk about pico and nano is because when we talk about the capacity, it will goes to pico and nano. It is a very small number. Pico, Faraday, Faraday, picofarad, nanofarad. It is a very, literally a very small number. Yes. So if you see these numbers, you have to remember the symbols and remember how much the factor you have to multiply. Yeah. Sometimes maybe in the answer they will give you 4 numbers, but all of them are with these symbols at the front as a unit. So you have to know how to convert the numbers. Resistance. Okay, resistance have different size, different types, and different configurations, and fixed or variable values. Okay, so we've got different forms. The size of, so we will talk about color bands. When we have to read the resistor and note which the resistance of the resistance of the resistor, we can read the color band on it and know the resistance on it, or we can just measure sometimes. Resistance value 2.7 ohms to 22 megaohms. I'm not going to go through it. It's just for your friends. Okay, type of resistors. Fixed resistors, thin film resistors. We will go through the surface mount, the thin film type, and wire type. Potentiometer and rheostat will treat it as the same device first. Just treat them as the same category, variable resistance, although they are a bit different in technically. Okay. Resistors, we got metal film, oxidized, and film chip type with power range like this one. Okay. This is very common to be used in all devices, resistors. So this can help to limit the current flow, prevent the currents going too large and damage the equipment. Or your IC or the equipment have to work in a target current. So you have to limit your current. Okay. The main current resistor nowadays, we got wire type, film type, and film type we've got carbon and metal film. Okay, I really want to talk about the carbon composition, but after I prepared the lessons, I found that there are much less and less people manufacture the carbon composite resistor because the price is the cost is too large and not cost effective. So they changed into metal film. Okay. But still we are going to talk about, and let me see. The metal oxide and the carbon composite, actually they are the same, you can think in this way, they are having the same near composition, but they just change the carbon into metal oxide. In fact, they are nearly the same, okay? So do you have to remember the exact composition of it? No, you don't have to. You don't have to remember that. But there are some, you may encounter questions like which resistors can be used as a dummy load. Because dummy load is a 50 Hz device for you to prevent your signals emitting, to absorb all your signals. You can absorb all your signals. And you can use resistors to make an environment of 50 ohm. How to do that, and which type of resistor you should be used? Okay, this will be the questions. So you can see that the carbon composite or metal oxide. Are there any people outside?
No, be careful.
Oh, really? Which it is stable around this one this temperature and absorb short overloads compared to thin film type. So if you have some devices that need to absorb a lot of power, so you can decide to use the carbon composite or metal oxide. So metal oxide is an advanced version of carbon composite. Okay, relatively noisy with wide tolerance. Wide tolerance is a very good advantage of it. More stable and operates at higher temperatures. But the resistance may not be that accurate. And we got the terms called thermal coefficient. So you see that for carbon composite and metal oxide, when the temperature changes, the resistance may change a lot compared to the other type. Yeah. So this is an disadvantage if you have a concern on the temperature. If you need to the temperature varies a lot and you need to control it into a very precise temperature, then you may have to use other types. Okay. Thin film. So as its name called, it's a metal film or carbon film wrapped outside. So this is a metal film produce little electronic noise. Okay. Slightly less stable to other thin films, but with a wider tolerance for when we speak about the carbon film. But once again, you don't have to memorize this one. Thin film, okay, thin film the resistors, sometimes the resistors can be made in this form. Okay. This is what they call the TO220 package. So with the heat sink here, they can transfer the heat to a heat sink and allows the heat to be dispensed to the environment as quick as possible. So if you find that the dummy load used in the real world, most of the types of resistor is thin film resistors. In Chinese, we call 薄膜電阻. So you know that it looks like this. That's why the first two is not important if they ask you the dummy load. But the first two, the metal film, carbon film, is cheaper than all the types. Okay. Wire wound resistors. It is very important. Okay, this is because this you can see that there is a metal wire wrapped around a core, so that we will talk about more details in the coming lessons. If there are current flow through the wire, we will have induced magnetic field, and we have induced current through it. And this will cause, as it causes inductance, it will cause some interference to the machines. So it will give you extra current, right, to the environment. So it is not suitable to be used as a dummy load, as it will interfere with your radio. So if the questions ask you this one, you will always know that it is not suitable for dummy load. Okay, it is never used. The only choice you'll remember is thin film, metal film, carbon film, or carbon composite. Okay, never think of wire wound. But in real life, once again in real life, if you see the others YouTube videos, you will see that there are people making their own dummy load. They try to connect these resistors to make a 50 ohm environment. And you will see most of them are using wire wound. But this is wrong. This is wrong because it will emit signal. Okay, it will emit signal. But one advantage is the thermal coefficient is very low, so the resistance won't change a lot when it is heated up or at a very cold place. Okay, but no, you should never use this. But it is also common if you use a dummy load as an audio output. So it is different story in the audio output. It won't interfere with your radio, and you can use what you want to use. And wire wound have a very big advantage is it can absorb a lot of currents compared to the it can withstand a high current compared to the others, to the metal film or carbon composite. Color code. We will I don't know if they will ask you the color code, but it is taught in the syllabus. It's mentioned in the syllabus, and you have to know it. So most of the time, if they give you a resistor, oh yes, I think yes, but they mention it. They don't give you a. I'm not sure if they give you a picture or not. But don't worry about it. They will give you a color copy. This is in color. The picture is in color. So if they really ask you the question, you can read the picture directly. Okay. Black is 0, brown is 1, red is 2, orange is 3, yellow is 4, green is 5, blue is 6, violet is 7, gray is 8, white is 9. Okay, we talk about the first two columns first. The first two columns is just digits ranged from 0 to 9. Black is 0, white is 9. Okay, simple. And so use your own method to memorize the color code. When the time and when I go to the exam, I just starting remembering from red, orange, yellow. I remember in Chinese. Okay, so I can just go and memorize it. I remember from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so just think of a rainbow. Okay, you can think of a rainbow and starting from red to the violet. So you just 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 7, and the rest you just try to memorize as hard as possible. But never mind, it's just one mark, right? If you can memorize it, it's just 1 mark. They won't ask you more than 1 question. Okay, and the second band is also the digit. 0 from 0 to 9. For the third band, it's a multiplier. The multiplier means how many zeros are at the back. So for black, you know that it will be a very low and very small multiplier, and the resistance is very slow, just multiply by 1. And for white, you will see that it is 10 to the power 9, which is a very big resistor. Yeah, the resistance is very large. Okay, but you will see for smaller resistance it is smaller, and bigger resistance in real life is a lot bigger. First two is digit, and the third one is the multiplier. How many zeros going by? White is 9 zeros. So you can think it is 0 to 9, 0 to 9. This is also 0 to 9, just 10 to the power 0. And this is 10 to the power 9. They're just the same. Okay?
So what is minus 1, minus 2?
Minus 1, minus 2 is special design. The resistance is so small that it is up to 0 point something. If you want to represent this kind of resistance, you will use gold and silver, but this is not that common. Yeah, so you can just skip it. But in real life, if you see that, you can think it this way. If I've got a red, black, and gold here, this is 2, red is 2, right? Black is 0, right? This is 2O and to the power -1, which is 20 divided by 10, which is finally 2 ohm. You can think in this way. Okay, you want to represent like fractions or decimals. So silver by 2 is divided by 100. It is even smaller, 0 point something. Yeah, but I think this is not common. And the tolerance, you at most seeing gold and silver. You are not going to see the others. Green is also common to be used, but you don't have to remember it. Just remember that gold and silver is enough. Okay. So let's go to some examples. If you see this resistance here, it is red, black, and green. Gold. Okay. So it is 2 times 10 to the power 1, which is times 10.
10 to the power 0.
That is 10 to the power 0. 10 to the power 0. 10 to the power 0 times 1. So you know that this is 2 times 10 to the power 0 times 1. 10 to the power 0 times 1. 22 ohm with a tolerance of 5%. Okay. So if you don't know which side to read from, you will find that the first band will never be used as we will never use gold, or we will not use gold or silver at the first band. The gold and silver represent tolerance, and it will appear most likely at the last band, okay? So this is how you read the resistance.
Sometimes you have a 1%
Yes.
tolerance, which used by ground.
Yes, it's push
And
by
it
ground.
just happen you have a first digit ground. It's very difficult
Yes.
to
Yes.
read which way. So normally they will print the band closer to one end to start with.
Yes, so you see the gap here is larger. So these three bands are closer.
And the first band, this first red is normally closer to the end of the lead of the system.
Okay.
It's not obvious, but on your previous diagram, it's very obvious.
This one, right?
Yeah, the brown band is closer to the end, and then the tolerance band.
Okay. So I got two examples for you. So you can try to read the numbers. And remember that I have my hints, my answers at the speaker notes. So the first digit, red is 2, right? 2. And how about the second digit? Green is 5. Here's 2, 5. Multiply 10 to the power 2 times 100. 2500. 2025 ohms with a tolerance of 5%。呢個係好會考嘅呢個，佢個 syllabus 寫咗會考。Okay, so for this, let me check my answer. Yes, this is 2,500 with tolerance of 5%. And the second one, this is the first digit is brown, which is 1. Okay, the second digit is black, which is 0. 10 times 100, 10 to the power 2. So this is a 1,000 ohms resistor with a tolerance of 5%. Easy, huh? Just read. But you have to, it is a bit difficult if you have to memorize all of them. But I don't think it would be that tricky. So okay, so I will talk about any questions or any supplements. Okay, so I will talk about the SDM. So SDM is more common on PCB, which have a very small size, so you can put it on your PCB easily. And okay, yes, very compact in different shapes and size, so you can have different ratings on it. So the most common, yes, it is a common type of resistance on PCB. So you see that there is an example here, right? So you see that they cut the metals wire so that it is a thinner and longer road, so it could control the resistance. And for this one, it makes it narrower, so it helps to control how large the resistance is. And if they really ask you that tricky questions, so it is just the same, how to read the numbers. The first digit, just number. Second digit is just number. The last digit is times 10 to the how many numbers. So the first one is, if it's 0, then it is times 10 to the power 0. Like 470, which means 47 ohms. 473, which is times 10 to the power 3, or add 3 zeros at the back. Okay, if you give you 400 zeros, it's just the same. Okay. Why they make this so hard to read is because it is easier to print on the PCB. To save space. Yeah, this is the only reason why they do that. And if they really ask you about, they give you the R is just a decimal number, the decimal, okay? So R10 is 0.1, okay? So 6R80 is 6.80, which is 6.8 ohm, okay? This is how to read if they give you the R on the SMD resistor. Yeah. And in the real life, you may also see 0 ohm resistor. which is, no, you're not going to read it in the exam. This is just help you to manage your PCB board, okay? They have a very neglectable resistance and acts like a jump wire, so that you can make your PCB more clean, so that you can see that in the real life. Yeah. So sometimes the wire may be very hard to go to. The place may be hard to connect, and it is very ugly to use a jump wire. So they just managed to put a 0 ohm resistor over here. And we will have different standards. Resistor, so you see this is look like this, just like a zigzag. Rheostat and potentiometer, we can treat them as the same, a variable resistor, which is arrow cross through the normal resistor. And this one is just pointing to the middle of the resistor. So if you see an arrow with the resistor, you know it is just a variable. The resistance can be changed. Okay, and more calculation. Let me have a quick check. How many slides? Don't worry. Resistor in series. So if you connect the resistors in parallel, in series, which is 1 by 1, the total resistors will be adding up all the resistance on the same path. Just like think it this way: you are going to a road, like narrow road followed by narrow road. So it makes your trip. You need to drive for a longer time. You're stuck at the road for a very long time. So this is how you think in your mind. And for resistor in parallel, which is they give you 3 options to travel, so they can separate the traffic. So you have a lower resistance, and you can make your traffic faster. So that when it parallel out, the resistance will go down, and the calculation will be the reciprocal of R1 plus R2 plus R3, and the reciprocal of it. Okay. Reciprocal of reciprocal. Or if you are not familiar with it, you can remember this form. 1 over R equals to 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2 plus 1 over R3 plus blah blah blah. Okay, you can memorize in this way. But I would prefer this one. This is the way how I remember. Or if you are familiar with math, you can just think in this way: R1 plus R2 plus dot 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 to the power -1. Just choose the methods you can remember. But I guess this one should be easier to memorize if you are not familiar with physics. The reciprocal of total resistance will be the reciprocal of all the resistance adding up. Okay.
This actually is this is a definition.
Yes, the
of
definition. But I love this one. I really love this one. The reciprocal of reciprocal. Analogy, yes. So I've talked about the analogy for a very long time. So think in this way: when you have a circuit in series, in series, so it is in this way. So you have different checkpoints, different roadblock at the same time, all in one place. So that it will become slower and slower. Okay, so the resistance goes back, the flow goes down. Okay, and if they have resistors in parallel, which means the roadblock are separated. They got 3 different stations to go through. So the resistance will go down and the current will flow faster compared to a single resistor. Okay, exercise. So we will just go through all the exercise today, and we'll stop at here. Just find out the resistance of each diagram First, I'm not sure should I talk about the Chekhov's current, but it's better to know more about it. Never mind.
But this is how you end up with the formula.
Yes.
The Kirchhoff law.
Yes. It helps you to understand how to deal with the HARTS circuits. So sometimes, how come the parallel they have a constant voltage, and for series they have a constant current? So you have to understand the Chekhov's rule first. But in some of the lessons, they may not explicitly tell you about it. But in my lessons, I'll talk about it. So we got 3 resistors in parallel. So the questions in real life, they may also give you a battery here, so that and ask you what is the current here in your real life. But it will become much harder. Never mind. We will just do it bit by bit. Okay, we have 3 resistors here. 2K, I would say 2K is 1.5K, and the last one is 7.5K. So what is the resulting resistance? Just add numbers up. 2 plus 1.5. I should do it this way. 2,000 plus 1500, which is 3500, right? So this part, you can change the circuit into this one. So the circuit will become 3500 ohm plus 7500 ohm, and you add them up, it will become 11000, which is equals to 11k ohm. Okay, so in their answers they may give you already the SI prefix already, so you have to choose among them. They may be sometimes trick you, they are not tracking about the numbers, but they will trick you, it is 11 micro ohm, 11 mega ohm, so they will ask you how to choose it instead of your calculation. So you have to be very careful. Even you may add up to this number, they may not appear directly in your MC choices. Do I have to explain why it is 11 k ohm? K means 1000. So I make it more explicit. Let me check my numbers. Yay! Yeah. Okay. Another example. Total resistance in your in the circuit. So we got a parallel circuit here. So we will do it once again. Actually, we can do it bit by bit if you are not familiar with it. If you are very worried about it. 24, 86, and 100. So they are connected in this way. 24 ohms, 86 ohms, and 100 ohms. So you can calculate it first. So you can make it this way. 1 over 24 plus 1 over 68 plus 1 over 100. What is the number? I don't know. Maybe you can tell me. I don't have my calculator today with me.
15.
15. Oh.
15.
So you get this number?
No.
15?
Yeah, it's 15. 1 over 15.
Yeah, 1 over 15.
Yeah, that's right.
So you know that the 1 over R will be 1 over 15. This 1 over R equals to this one, right? So R equals to 15 ohm.
Hello? Well, 15.
Because this is 1 over R. This 1 over R. Or you can write it this way. So that's why I will write it this way. 1 over 24 plus 1 over 86. If you don't remember, 1 over 100. So results you will have 1 over 15. So if you use the formula, remember that it is you are calculating 1 over R, not R directly. So you have to make up your mind which formula you are going to remember it. Yeah. But this is the easiest one to remember. Okay. If you're a physics guy, then don't worry. You can do it. Just think it this way. Which one is larger, which one is smaller? If you parallel them, you should hold down. So you see that if you parallel 4 resistance, the resulting resistance will be even smaller than the smallest one. Yeah. Okay. Let me stop here. So the hardest question in your exam about Ohm's law will just limit to this one. Okay. At most will be this one. If they ask you about resistors only, parallel circuit and in series only, you are not going to see this one. You are not going to see this one. Okay. So it is. If you can handle the parallel and in series, then you can handle nearly all the math in circuits. Yeah. So this is the end of our today's lesson.